Founded in 1939, St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center is a national leader dedicated to provide life-saving programs and services for homeless pets in New Jersey and beyond, support needy pet families in local communities, and we're advocates for the humane treatment of animals big and small.
Okay, so as I'm sure you can guess, our next speaker is Jennifer Gregory, and she works at St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center. Pets are an integral part of the family and a lot of reasons why victims don't leave. So we've asked her to come and speak with us today about what it looks like when pets need to escape too. So Jennifer, go ahead and turn your camera and mic on, and we'll get you up in the room. Excellent. All right. You're muted. There we go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. So first of all, I want to thank Sherry for inviting me to this conference. I actually stayed on the whole conference. It was very exciting networking with people and hearing about different domestic violence issues and ways that families go into the agencies. And I just play a small part of helping their pets and keeping families together. So I know I'm a big piece of the puzzle when it comes to families with pets, but there's a lot that I learned today on the conference. So thank you, Sherry, for inviting me. And thank you, everybody, for your presentations. So a little bit about me. I've been in animal welfare for 20 years. I've been here at St. Hubert's for the last 7 years. And my favorite part of my job is helping families. My title is Safety Net Manager, and we do anything here for families that they need to keep their pets in their homes. If they need food, sometimes medical supplies, emergency boarding. We have emergency boarding for families that are homeless, sometimes house fires, and a big thing now, domestic violence. And post-COVID, we've seen definitely an uptick of families fleeing from their abusers and not having anywhere for their pets to go. So we do know on an average that 20% to 40% of families that have pets don't have anywhere for them to go if there's a situation. Especially with domestic violence, families will stay with their abusers if they don't have a plan for their pet. So we have made it as easy as possible as we can for agencies to work with us. If a family will go into their agency and they have a pet and the pet can't stay there, for us to be able to help. So I'll talk about a couple things for the agencies and for the domestic violence victims, what that looks like. So for agencies, currently we work with 8 agencies in 8 different counties. And how does this look like for an agency to partner with us for domestic violence victims? We try to make it as simple as possible. If a family goes into a domestic violence agency with a pet, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be able to house the pet with them at that agency. So we simply receive a call from their counselor or their social worker, and we devise a plan to get the animal here immediately. Sherry asked me to talk about a checklist that families might want to think about if they have to flee with their pets. Honestly, we do everything for them. Anything that they could bring with them, they're able to, but we provide food, we provide shelter, we provide medical. If an animal happens to be on a medication, we could provide that as well. So we don't want the domestic violence victims to think that they have to have all this information about the pet from their vet or all of the supplies. We simply just handle that for them. So the way it will look is the pet will come into our shelter and we will get them updated on all of their medical. We do everything free of charge. And we are also able to handle the animals for up to 75 days. And usually we do extend that in any circumstance because we don't want to have a family be separated from their pet if they just need a little bit more time. So we will definitely extend the contract to state how, a couple more weeks or a couple more days or whatever it is, we always extend. Confidentiality and safety is a huge issue, obviously, when you're dealing with victims of domestic violence. So we make sure that they understand that we use all the confidentiality guides that the agencies would use. Nobody will receive their information. None of their information is put out in our systems. None of our information is given out over the phone. I'm actually the only person that would know the victim's information if an animal comes into the shelter. And once the animals come here, they are held at an undisclosed location. So what that looks like for the victims, if their pet is here, they will simply have my cell phone number. They can call me whenever they would like to check up on their pets. We do visitation. We can do it as much as once a week, but we try to keep it to twice a week for stress of the animals. But the families are able to receive photos or visit them while they're here. And that means a lot to a family that's going through a domestic violence issue, because the last thing that they're holding on to is their children or their pets. So the fact that they know that they can have a direct contact with us and visit them means a lot to them. We also have some, sorry, I've lost my place here. We also have some information for the agencies as well. Part of this call, we're hoping to partner with other agencies. Right now, I said we partner with 8 domestic violence agencies, but we are definitely able to partner with more agencies. I'll leave my contact information with Sherry, and we simply have a memorandum of understanding of what our roles are as an agency and as a shelter, and what you would do and what we would do, and we can start working with each other. A big resource that we have for domestic violence agencies that they can look up, if we're in New Jersey, so if they're further away from us, redrover.org is a huge resource for us as well. And they have grants that help domestic violence shelters build on-site pet housing, or they also have grants for pet boarding. So you can simply look up redrover.org, and they have a lot of information there for you. If families are able to have other members of families care for their pets, and they get in contact with us, we can also help with other things if it's not boarding. So we can provide supplies or food or medical if that's necessary for vaccines or anything like that. We can also help with things like that for families. And we, for our reports, we usually do anywhere from 65 to 80 animals per year that come into our program, with a 80% reunification rate. So it's a very good program for families, and we help families keep together with their pets. So it's a very exciting thing for me. Is there anything, Sherry, that I didn't hit that you want me to tap into more?
I didn't get my mic on. I'm clicking. So one of the resources that we actually have in our Find a resource is an actual animal safety plan.
Okay.
These are action steps that things that they need to collect. Things like ownership. Do they own the pet? Is there a chip? Do you have the records for the chip, or at least the company name where the chip was registered? Any vet records that may be around, because that will help prove ownership of the pet. It also gives a lifeline to how the pet was cared for beforehand.
Yes, absolutely.
Leashes, collars, they usually recommend bringing, if they have a favorite toy, bringing that favorite toy with them so that they feel that level of comfort, and a piece of clothing that belongs to you so that they can have your smell with them. If someone has the time to gather all this stuff, great. If not, then you do the best you can. And having the support of folks like you is just paramount. When we post information, every time it's posted about pets, it is the #1 most engaged post that we do. I think sometimes people get more emotional about pets than they do children.
Yeah.
Because pets are children, right? So if an agency wanted to get involved with you, how would they go about doing that? What are kind of some steps that they would need to prepare for in order to build a relationship with you?
So simply email me and we could talk about the roles and responsibilities. But again, we make it as simple as we possibly can for the agencies and the victims. So an agency can simply say they want to partner with us, and we'll make up an MOU between them and us. And the roles and responsibilities are simple. They contact us when a family has a pet, and we do the rest.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Excellent. All right. Does anyone have any questions? So in the chat, put down if you have a pet, and if so, what type. So I have 2 dogs and a bunny. So that's another question. What if someone has something other than a dog or a cat?
So we've had a bird, which was interesting. And it was, I say it was interesting because the owner had a 3-page list of everything I needed to do with the bird every day. And I do have pictures of, we kept the bird in my office, and the bird would stand on our head at times. And some of my office mates did not like having a bird in the office, but there was specific things that we needed to do for the bird. Eventually we found a foster home. We ended up taking care of this specific bird for 3 months, but everything that this pet owner, wanted us to do, we needed to do. We said that we would take care of her pet while she was getting herself together. And 3 months later, I had my 3-page report for her of everything that we've done with her bird. So the animals are our family when they get here. But we've had a bird, we've had a turtle, cats and dogs. We've had a bunny at one point. So we just make it work.
Excellent. Now, we live in a state here where people have horses.
Yes.
So in the event that someone has a larger animal, more of a farm type animal, like a horse or something, what would happen there?
So we haven't had that issue, but it's funny that you bring it up because our North Branch shelter, we have 3 locations. Our North Branch shelter deals with horses a lot. So we would simply collaborate, and I would speak to the animal control officer over there, and we would make that work as well. I'm sure we could find a foster home for a horse.
Excellent. If only I had more room in the back. And you don't just handle, obviously from the video, you don't just handle taking care of domestic violence pets, but you also have other services that you provide. So what are some things, I'm sure you're a nonprofit and you do some fundraising. So what are some things that people can do to support your organization?
So we are a shelter open for adoption. Right now, post-COVID, we are doing everything by appointment, but we're still doing the same. We have the same amount of animals coming through our building that need homes than before. So at any given time, we could have 500 to 600 animals here between small animals, cats, and dogs. So as the adoptions are going on, we always take donations. For my position as safety net manager, everybody that needs anything, we want to keep pets in homes. So families call me and tell me that they go to the food pantry and they feed their dog the extra green beans. So we make sure that we have a supply of cat food and dog food. We always take food donations. So whether it's wet or dry cat food or dog food, we're always taking those donations. A lot of families now I find that are losing their jobs, they can't afford their car insurance, so they don't have a car. So we've been driving more. We'll be taking messages from families in different towns and one day go and deliver food to 5 families so they can keep their pets. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. I've gotten calls from families that live in their car and they've been driving around with their cat or their dog or multiple pets or cats and dogs. So we are here to help them as well. So, any type of donation, sthuberts.org is our website. And we are here at the shelter 7 days a week. But
Excellent.
anything that anyone can think of, we take laundry detergent, we take bleach, we take bedding for pets. This is all stuff that we use to run the shelter daily.
I have an old guinea pig cage I can
There you go. Yep.
Excellent. All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and wrap up a little bit early, and we're going to go into a break. So to keep everything on schedule, actually, I think what we're going to do is cut our break a little short. So we'll come back at 2:30. I'll check in, make sure our panelists are okay to start a little early, and we'll give them a little extra time because their session is really in depth. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the networking hall.
Thank you, Sherry.